Nobody warned you about this. The system gave you a script from the day you were born. Be kind, work hard, stay humble, don't cause problems. And most people followed that script their entire lives, exhausted, overlooked, and quietly furious about it. Not because they were weak, because they were lied to. Here is the brutal truth. The world does not reward the good, it rewards the strategic. It does not bow to the humble. It bends to those who understand leverage. And the moment you stop pretending otherwise, the moment you look at human behavior exactly as it is, not as you wish it were, everything changes. Machiavelli spent his life studying this, not morality, reality. He didn't write about how people should act. He documented how they actually act when nobody is watching. And his conclusion was razor sharp. Society punishes the naive and rewards the calculated. So let's destroy 3 lies you were handed as children. Lie 1. Be kind, and people will respect you. Look around. Millions of people are relentlessly kind every single day. They are also constantly overlooked, used, and stepped on. Lie 2. Just be yourself, and the right people will follow. No. Unfiltered vulnerability in the wrong room is not authenticity. It is bleeding in shark-infested waters. Lie 3. Work hard, and good things will happen. Millions of people work themselves into exhaustion every single day. Most of them die without ever touching real freedom. These phrases sound comforting. That is exactly why they exist. Comfortable people are predictable. Predictable people are manageable. And manageable people never become a threat to the system that needs them compliant. Imagine 2 people walking into the same room tonight. The first person enters worried. They scan the room for approval. They adjust their posture, their tone, their opinion based on who is watching. They give away their energy freely, a smile here, an explanation there, desperately trying to be liked. They hand over their psychological control before a single word is spoken. The second person enters differently. They don't seek attention. They command it through stillness. They read the room. They notice who is performing, who is insecure, who is quietly observing. They say less than everyone expects. And somehow, without raising their voice, without explaining themselves, without trying, they become the most powerful presence in that room. Fast forward 6 months. The first person is exhausted. They have compromised their boundaries so many times they can no longer remember where those boundaries were. They are liked by everyone and respected by no one. The second person holds all the leverage. They know exactly which emotional buttons exist in every person around them. They are not feared exactly, but nobody moves against them without thinking twice. What is the difference between these 2 people? Not intelligence, not looks, not connections. One thing: perspective. The first person plays the game they were taught. The second person plays the game as it actually works. There are 3 principles that separate the controlled from the controllers: perceive, isolate, control. Most people miss the first one entirely. They walk through rooms reacting to energy, to tone, to subtle social pressure, without ever stopping to observe. The person who perceives clearly does something different. They watch before they speak. They identify who in the room needs validation, who needs to feel powerful, who is performing confidence they do not actually feel. And they file every single observation without revealing that they are doing it. Here is the truth nobody tells you. Your ability to read people is your most lethal weapon. The moment you reveal how you read someone, the moment you say, "I noticed you do this," or "I can tell you feel that," the weapon disappears. They stop being themselves and start performing for your perception. Keep your eyes completely open and your method completely invisible. The second principle is isolation, and this is where most people get it wrong. Isolation does not mean cutting people off. It means understanding the emotional economy of every relationship around you. Every relationship runs on an invisible currency: attention, validation, energy. The fatal mistake of the subordinate is giving too much too soon, making themselves entirely available, always responding, always present, always eager. The master understands one cold law: abundance destroys value. When someone can predict your warmth, they stop working for it. Give them intense, focused presence. Then, without warning, withdraw. Not as a game, as a calibration. The shift creates a psychological response they cannot fully explain. They begin adjusting their behavior. They begin working for your attention without realizing they have started working. You have rewired their focus. They are no longer thinking about themselves. They are thinking about you. The third principle is control. And the most powerful tool in this arsenal is something almost nobody uses correctly: silence. When someone challenges you, over-explains themselves, or tries to test your reaction, do not argue, do not defend, do not fill the space. Simply look at them and remain completely still. This creates a vacuum of psychological pressure that most people cannot tolerate. They will fill it themselves. They will negotiate against themselves. They will hand you information they were trying to protect, just to break the unbearable tension you created without saying a single word. Silence is not passivity. Silence is pressure without fingerprints. Before you step onto this path, understand the price. The moment you stop needing approval, people will become uncomfortable. The moment you stop explaining yourself, they will call you cold. The moment you stop reacting to every provocation, they will say you changed. They will call you arrogant, calculated, intimidating. They will say the person they knew is gone. Good. What they will not see are the hours you spent studying yourself, dismantling every pattern that made you easy to manipulate. They will not see the discomfort you sat with while you learned to hold silence instead of filling it. They will not see the moments you chose observation over reaction when everything in you wanted to explode. They will only see the result, and some of them will resent you for it. Machiavelli warned about this centuries ago. The pursuit of power always breeds opposition. You cannot hold the position and expect universal love. Those two things are mutually exclusive. The throne is always cold and always worth it. So the only question that remains is the honest one. Are you willing to be the villain in the story of people who were never going to protect you anyway? Are you willing to operate without the safety net of their approval? Are you willing to be unreadable in rooms that were reading you your entire life? Because if you are, something shifts, not instantly, not dramatically, but permanently. You stop reacting, you start observing, you stop bleeding energy into rooms that were only ever collecting it. You become the question nobody in the room can answer, the presence they feel but cannot calculate, the person they remember long after you have left, without being able to explain exactly why. That is not charisma, that is not luck, that is architecture, built deliberately, maintained silently, and completely invisible to everyone who has not done the work. The world has always been divided into two kinds of people, those who are shaped by the room and those who shape it. You now know which one you are becoming. Drop this in the comments. I am the architect of every room I enter.